Welcome to Grizzly News. I'm Garrison Douglas. We have some great stories for you all today. Presidential primaries, student discounts, religious events, and more. We're reporting the stories that are important to you, only on Grizzly News. Discounts. Who doesn't love that word? Well, GGC, it looks like you've got a special one coming just for you. Buffalo Wild Wings at the Mall of Georgia will now begin to offer discounts to the student body at 10% when you eat there. I'd say that's a pretty good discount. Next week, we'll be sending one of our correspondents to get more details on how exactly you go about getting the discount. But in the meantime, GGC is having a pretty amazing event come up. For more on this event, we have our RSO correspondent, Jonathan Wynn, down the Elvis room. How are you doing, Jonathan?
Good, Douglas. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. So what event is getting put on, Jonathan?
So yeah, March 17th, around 7 p.m., there's going to be a cool event going on called the Value of the Soul event. Basically what it is different organizations are going to come together and try to unify a student body. I know the two big organizations is going to be FCM, which is Forerunners Campus Ministries, and Baptist Collegiate Ministries. Those two organizations are going to spearhead this event. There's going to be other organizations involved, including 12 Stone. It should be a really, really good event, though, from my self-esteem.
Okay, so, I guess, what activities should we expect to see then at the event?
Right, so the different activities are going to be involved. There's going to be prayer test tables. They're going to be sending out fire information. There's going to be food and music. They're expecting a lot of people. They're expecting this to be a very successful event, which it's looking to be. There's also going to be other cool stuff, testimonies as well, stuff like that.
Okay, interesting. Awesome. Okay, so I guess who is going to be giving testimonies at this event? Are we going to be seeing students, or what are we looking at?
Right. There's from what I know, there's definitely going to be two testimonies. One from Tiffany Wang, and one from a different student, different GGC student. From all I know, that's other testimonies. I'm not sure if they're going to be sharing other student testimonies as well.
All right. So are we expecting any special guests that are going to be in attendance, or maybe some special words?
Right. The organization is going to be having a video presentation of Franklin Graham, an evangelist. It's going to be a simple, warm, heartfelt message to all the student body and everyone who's there. We'll also have our correspondent be over at the event, asking everyone questions, interviewing the people who set up the event. We're going to be checking out all the cool stuff that's going on, and hopefully this will be a great event for everyone.
All right, yeah, sounds like it. I may have to go myself. Well, thank you, Jonathan, for that report. Coming up after the break, we're going to get you an update on the 2016 presidential primaries. Welcome back. As promised, we're continuing our coverage of the 2016 presidential primaries. So let's start with the Democrats. Hillary Clinton leads the race with 1,244 total delegates, which puts her over the halfway mark towards the 2,383 delegates needed to secure the nomination. Senator Bernie Sanders follows her with only 574 delegates. Now, it's important to mention that there's a very important distinction between the two. The former Secretary of State has officially only 772 delegates, but has secured over 400 superdelegates. Senator Sanders, however, has won 551 delegates, but only 23 superdelegates. So why is this important? It's important because superdelegates are not bound to who they're currently supporting. The 472 delegates that Secretary Clinton currently holds could all go to Senator Sanders the next morning. The regular delegates are bound by the primary results. Those are fixed and locked unless there is a broker convention, which is a whole other story. That's why it's important to understand the superdelegate system, because as the DNC chairwoman said in a CNN interview, superdelegates exist really to make sure that party leaders and elected officials don't have to be in a position where they are running against grassroots activists. She actually said that. I'm not making that up. She's essentially saying that they exist to protect the party from the crazies, which is something the GOP probably wishes they had put in place, because Donald Trump is running the GOP establishment scared. He leads the pack with 461 delegates, while Senator Ted Cruz from Texas trails somewhat closely behind him with 362 delegates. Both senators, Marco Rubio and Governor Kasich, trail way behind, with Rubio at 154 delegates and Kasich at 54. Now tonight, Florida, Rubio's home state, and all its 99 delegates are up for grabs. But it's not looking good for Rubio, because he is trailing Donald Trump by 14% according to the Real Clear Politics average. However, we don't quite know yet how the debate would alter the choices of the voters. But there's no doubt that Rubio will be forced to drop out of this race if he loses his home state tonight. There has been discussion, though, of a unity ticket between Rubio and Cruz, with Cruz on the top. The rumors, however, have been squashed by Rubio, who said that no discussion has taken place between the two campaigns. However, if you're like myself, or you're a political science major, or all you do is study politics, you may know that this is probably the best play for a GOP establishment who has essentially lost control of the primary process. In fact, it's getting so out of hand that Senator Rubio is asking his own supporters to vote for Governor John Kasich in the Ohio race tonight in order to stop Donald Trump from picking up Ohio's 66 delegates. But we'll have to sit back and watch to see exactly what happens tonight, because there's no doubt that we're going to see another interesting night of delegate counting. Because, to be quite honest, we don't know what may happen tonight. Because when we look at this past weekend, a Donald Trump rally ignited riots in the city of Chicago that forced the campaign to postpone the event. And we also have raw footage of what happened in the streets that left protesters, officers, and Trump supporters injured. Let's take a quick look.
Trump 16! Trump is an idiot! Fuck that!
Even dogs don't support Trump. Even dogs don't support Trump.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Bernie! 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 Hey you! Hey you! Hey you! No KKK, no fascist USA, no Trump. No KKK, no fascist USA, no Trump. No KKK, no fascist USA, no Trump. No KKK, no fascist USA.
Now, as you can see, those images are indeed very sad and disgraceful. The Trump campaign had nothing to say about what happened other than that Donald Trump doesn't believe he has played a part in it. But a protester who attacked him the next day apparently thought differently.
Go back home to mommy. Go back home. Go back home to mommy. Go back home. Guy looks like he's 15 years old. What's going on over here? What's going on? All right, take him back home to mom. She'll lock him in his bedroom. So folks, here's what happens. I will call up Carrier, the president, because I have to do it myself. I know it's not.
All I can say is that it's a sad day for American politics to see such images. But unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there, because coming up after the break, we'll be airing some clips honoring the life of both Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia and the former First Lady of the United States, Nancy Reagan, whose funeral was this past Friday. We'll have all that for you after the break. We'll be right back.
My name is Samuel Yadero. I'm from Nigeria.
My name is Inar Bakwani. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, but my background's from Pakistan and Dubai.
Hi, my name is Nika Williams. I am from Miami, Florida.
Hi, my name is Jessica Aiken, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
My name is Sida Kazmi. I am from Pakistan.
Hi, my name is Mahmoudi Marina, and I'm from Gambia, West Africa.
Hello, my name is Sergio Ballesteros. I'm from Mexico.
My name is Casey Okebalama. I'm from Nigeria originally. I lived there for the first 3 years of my life. When I think of the word passion, I think of what you feel, what makes you do what you do, what drives you to move on. And being in SGA, the Student Government Association, has helped me be more outgoing and be more open. Because in being more outgoing and being more open, it allows me to understand who I am more as a person in order for me to be more passionate about what I do.
Diversity, to me, represents unity, represents togetherness.
It is important for organizations to have diversity so that people from different backgrounds can bring new perspectives that others might not have thought about before.
Greatest thing I learned as a member of SGA, dedication and passion, so we can make this community bigger and better.
My favorite thing about SGA is that I love interacting with people and knowing what's going on campus.
What is the Student Government Association? SGA is the voice of the students at GDC and works to promote change on our campus, in our community, and around the world.
This year, SGA's focus was on embracing the diversity of our growing student population, and in doing so, we were able to work toward change in a few different areas on campus.
As a team, we set plans in motion for an interfaith meditation space, worked with the dining hall to create more food options, established a relationship with auxiliary services to purchase state-of-the-art bike racks for campus, and began advertising our Senate meetings so students speak to the representatives about their concerns.
In SGA, you will cultivate lifelong relationships, and it is a great opportunity to learn from one of the most challenging leadership positions on campus.
We are looking for students to apply who are passionate about their work and are looking for a new opportunity to work with others to make the campus a better place.
If you are interested, please visit getinvolved.ggc.edu and fill out the online application before March 16th.
Our interest meeting will be held on March 2nd from 2 to 3 p.m. in Elvis in the Student Center for students to learn more information about campaigning and running for elections.
SGA elections will take place from March 23rd through March 25th. Remember to cast your vote at getinvolved.gdc.edu.
If you have any questions, please reach out to the Office of Student Involvement on the 3rd floor of the Student Center, or reach out to the SGA office at 678-407-5888.
Welcome back. Like I said before the break, we have some special clips put together honoring the memories of both Justice Scalia and former First Lady of the United States, Nancy Reagan. Here it is.
He trusted the power of her sacraments as the means of salvation, as Christ working within him for his salvation. Although one time, one Saturday afternoon, he did scold me for having heard confessions that afternoon, that same day. And I hope that is some source of consolation, if there are any lawyers present, that the Roman collar was not a shield against his criticism. The issue that evening was not that I'd been hearing confessions, but that he had found himself in my confessional line. And he quickly departed it. As he put it later, like heck if I'm confessing to you. The feeling was mutual. He was the father that God gave us for the great adventure of family life. Sure, he forgot our names at times or mixed them up. But there are 9 of us. He loved us and sought to show that love and sought to share the blessing of the faith he treasured. And he gave us one another to have each other for support. That's the greatest wealth parents can bestow. And right now, we are particularly grateful for it.
Ronald and Nancy Reagan were defined by their love for each other. They were as close to being one person as it is possible for any 2 people to be.
What I so admired about Nancy was that ability to do just that. She knew how to protect her husband and her president, but also her own place, to stand her ground, and once it had been resolved, to move on.
My parents were 2 halves of a circle, closed tight around a world in which their love for each other was the only sustenance they needed. While they might venture out and include others in their orbit, no one truly crossed the boundary into the space they held as theirs. The moment before my father died, he opened his eyes, which had been closed for days, and he looked straight at my mother. The circle was drawn again as he left this world.
What I really mean to say is that there would be no Ronald Reagan Presidential Library without a President Ronald Reagan, and there likely wouldn't have been a President Ronald Reagan without a Nancy Reagan. Her absolute belief in him gave him that chutzpah to run for office. I don't know that he would have done it otherwise. My mother provided the encouragement he needed. She guided him. She provided a refuge into which he could repair, to gather his strength. She guarded his privacy. She protected him. Both possessed great individual talents, but as a couple, they were more than the sum of their parts. And it would be a mistake, by the way, to consider her as somehow subordinate to him just because he was the one usually taking center stage. They were co-equals. They complemented one another. Individually, they may have gone far, but together they could and did go anywhere.
Well, that's it for Grizzly News. I'm Garrison Douglas. Before we go, though, I just had a couple last comments. As you probably noticed, this broadcast was a lot shorter than it was actually last week. That's just because we're coming after spring break. We try to put this stuff together. You know, we didn't have many people around to do interviews or anything like that. But next week we'll be back up and running in full force, so you can look forward to that. But yeah, so subscribe to our Facebook page, or subscribe to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook. If you have any feedback, please send it to our email address at grizzlynews@gnmbroadcast.com. But yeah, outside of that, you're watching Grizzly News. I'm Garrison Douglas. Keep growling, Grizzlies.